What's up, everybody? WiseGuyBets here with some DFS picks for DraftKings main slate. Today's date is 8/12/2021. We got 8 games on the main slate, and we're going to get right into it. Let's look at the pitcher position. At pitcher, I'm paying up tonight. I didn't like what I saw on the bargain side of the pitchers available, so I'm going to pay up tonight. I'm looking at Chris Bassit for Oakland. His projection on night, 16.6 fantasy points. He has 147 strikeouts on the season. His ERA is 3.19. He's pitching around 6.3 innings per game, which is very well. His average on the season is 20 out of 23 games. His last 3 games has been 11, 30, and 27. He's 10,000 on DraftKings. His last 5 against Cleveland has been 0, 0, 0, 9, 22. I like him in this position tonight, and really anything below 10,000, I'm a little skeptical of tonight. So Chris Bassit is someone I want to definitely look and get into my lineups at the pitcher position. Let's look at the catcher position. At catcher, I'm looking at Jacob Stallings for Pittsburgh. His projection on night is 7. 8 home runs on the season. He's batting .237. He's getting around 3.3 at-bats per game. His last 3 games, fantasy point-wise, has been 2.32. His average on the season is 6 out of 84 games. He's 3,300 on DraftKings. He has a .780 on-base percentage versus lefties. And the pitcher he's facing gives up a .858 on-base percentage to righties. I just like the matchup. The numbers kind of tell us he may have a decent night tonight. And it's not much to choose from the catcher position, to be honest. So Jacob Stallings is someone I definitely want to try to get in my lineup tonight at the catcher position. Let's look at the first base position. At first base, I'm looking at Josh Bell. Josh is expected fantasy points tonight of 7.5 fantasy points. He has 19 homers on the season. He's batting .248. He's getting around 3.4 bats per game. His average on the season is 7 fantasy points out of 97 games. His last 3 games have been 9, 3, 0. I like him coming off of 0. He's 3,700 on DraftKings. The price is right. He's 1 for 2 against the pitcher he's facing. He has 1 home run against the pitcher he's facing. His last 5 against the Mets are 0, 2, 5, 2, 0. Here's another pick where I kind of chose to go with a little value here. The one hit he has out of 2 at-bats is a homer against this pitcher. That is a very small sample size, but, he did make good contact in the time that he faced him. This pick right here, is kind of a punt pick in my eyes that can pay off. So I think this pick can pay off. I think he does get us the projected 7.5 fantasy points. If he gets us more, I'd be happy. But Josh Bell is someone I'm trying to get in my lineups tonight at the first base position. Let's look at the second base position. At second base, I'm looking at Segura of Philadelphia. His projection on that is 8.2 fantasy points. He's batting .316 on the season. 8 home runs. He's getting around 3.9 at-bats per game. He's averaging 8 fantasy points over 86 games. His last 3 games, fantasy point-wise, has been 14, 9, and 6. I like the 10.5 run projection for tonight. He's 4,000 on DraftKings. His last 5 against the Dodgers are 10, 5, 3, 9, and 6. He's 0 for 1 against the pitcher he's facing. Again, he's one of these players I like in this position tonight. I like that he can potentially get 5 at-bats if the run total holds true. So Mr. Segura is someone I'm definitely trying to get in my lineup tonight at the second base position. Let's look at third base. Third base, I'm looking at Nolan Arenado. for St. Louis. His projection tonight is 8.6 fantasy points. Has 22 homers on the season. He's batting .261. He's getting around 3.8 at bats per game. His average on the season is 8 fantasy points over 110 games. His last 3 games, fantasy point wise, has been 8, 4, and 7. It's 5,200 on DraftKings. Price is a little high, but he's 4 for 8 against the pitcher he's facing. 3 doubles, 1 home run. All hits against the pitcher he's facing have been extra base hits. That is the reason I'm selecting him tonight. His last 5 against Pittsburgh has been 25, 5, 2, 4, and 7, based on past performance against the pitcher he's facing. Mr. Arenado is going into my lineup tonight at the third base position. Let's look at the shortstop position. At shortstop, I'm looking at Paul Delong for St. Louis. His projection on that is 6.7 fantasy points. He has 15 homers on the season. He's batting .204 on the season. He's getting around 3.4 at bats per game. He's averaging 6 fantasy points over 82 games. His last 3 games has been 2, 16, and 14. Mr. DeLong has been hot. He's 3,700 on DraftKings. He's 2 for 5 against the pitcher he's facing. 1 double, 1 home run. Both hits are extra base hits. His last 5 games overall have been 5, 14, 2, 16, and 14. His last 5 against Pittsburgh is 3, 21, 5, 16, and 14. So he's had great success against Pittsburgh, and this is the 3rd game in their series where his previous 2 games he's had 16 and 14 points. I like him tonight, especially I like him to exceed the 6.7, maybe 12, between 12 and 15 fantasy points I can see him getting tonight. So hopefully his success continues against this pitcher, and he's hot right now, and we're going to ride him out until he cools down. So Paul DeLong is someone I definitely want to try to get into my lineup at the shortstop position. Let's look at the outfield position. We're looking at Miles Straw for Cleveland. His projection on night is 6.9 fantasy points. Has 3 homers on the season. He's averaging .268. He's getting around 3.4 at bats per game. His last 5 games, fantasy point wise, has been his average for the season over 110 games is 7 fantasy points. His last 3 games, fantasy point wise, has been 11, 10, and 7. And he's batting .500 against this pitcher. 5 for 10, 5 singles. He's batting leadoff. The over-under run projection is 9.5. So if Mr. Straw can get on the base for Cleveland, I think he makes some noise. And he's batting .500 against this pitcher. His last 5 against Oakland has been 12, 5, 0, 10, and 7. So Miles Straw is definitely someone I want to try to get into my lineup tonight in the outfield. So those are my picks for today. My picks help you. Go ahead and hit that like button. That really helps me out going forward. And subscribe to my channel. That would be greatly appreciated. If you do that, I can keep creating these quality videos on a daily basis. Until the next video, guys. See you later.